Hello everyone, my name is Marsona and this is my first post and I am ever so excited. I had my gastric vertical sleeve on June 12, 2012 and now I am exactly 3 weeks post-op and I'm really feeling good. First, let me start with my numbers. My starting weight was 254 pounds. I did not have to do any pre-op weight loss. All I had to do was just stop eating anything by midnight the night before my surgery, so I was grateful for that. But since my surgery, I've lost exactly 30 pounds, so that's 30 pounds in 3 weeks, and I'm ecstatic about that. I saw my doctors 2 weeks post-op, and I had lost 20 pounds and was off my hypertension medication. Now I'm 3 weeks out, and I've stopped taking my diabetes medication as well. My blood pressure readings used to read 165 over 95, 160 over 98. Well, I thank God that now my readings are like 97 over 63, and I think the highest I've had was about 116 over 75. So my blood pressure is doing great, even since I'm not taking the medication. Now, as for my diabetes, I test my blood sugar twice a day, and my readings used to be 155, 178, 189, 170. So I was kind of all over the place and never in range. But now my readings are like 109, 116, 105. So I'm grateful for my healing in these two areas. But I will continue to monitor them closely. I will still continue to check my blood sugar twice a day, as well as check my blood pressure. Now let's talk about food. I think the biggest thing for me about this surgery was having to come to terms with what it was that I had to do each day to get my 60 ounces, or my 60 grams of protein and my 64 ounces of fluid each day. Now eating soft foods like Idaho potatoes and canned fish like herring. And the Idaho potatoes are very tasty, very good, very satisfying. They come in different flavors and you can cook them by the package. So I'm doing really well on that. I think tomorrow I'm going to try some eggs and some corned beef hash, as well as some refried beans for my dinner, lunch and dinner, with some shredded cheese on top tomorrow. So I'm doing pretty good on my meals. So I'm really excited about eating again, because that did kind of bother me. I'm here cooking fish and my family's eating burgers and pizza, and I'm sitting here looking at them drinking protein. But that's the way it is. So for the next 2 weeks, I'll be doing soft foods like the potatoes, canned meats, and also they're all high in protein, as well as the eggs and the corned beef hash. Other foods that I am also able to eat are soups, like tomato soup and chicken noodle soup. Now, as far as the chicken noodle soup, what I'll do with that is just heat it up and drain the noodles and the chicken out of it and just drink the broth or the juice from the soup. And it's very tasty, so that should be satisfying as well. I'm only eating about 3 ounces of food at a time, and then I'm done. I know I'll probably increase that to about 4 ounces. So right now I'm doing pretty good with the 3 ounces on the soft foods, and I'm sure that when I'm through this 2 week period of eating soft foods, when I start eating more coarse foods, then I will be eating the 4 ounces and I will be full. But sometimes for a snack I will have mini popsicles, sugar-free popsicles, or sugar-free pudding. But most of the time I'm really not hungry, and the only feeling I have now, I guess, is just a feeling of being empty, but I'm not really hungry. And as far as my protein, what I'm taking for protein, or what I'm drinking now for protein, because the powders and all that mixing and shakes and stuff just didn't really work for me after a while. That stuff just grossed me out so bad. But what I am using is Isopure. And you can, let me turn this ball around so y'all can see the name of it. It's called Isopure. And you can buy Isopure at the vitamin store. That's the only place that I've seen it at. This is what they gave me in the hospital. They come in different flavors. I think this one is Alpine, apple, and melon. That's what it is. I thought it was Alpine juice, but it's apple and melon. And it's very tasteful. They come in fruit punch, pineapple. They just have different flavors, but they're really good. So the name of it is Isopure. Let me turn the bottle so y'all can really see the name. the isopure. These are exactly 20 ounces of fluid, but each bottle is 40 ounces or 40 grams of protein. There are no carbs, there's no sugar, but they are very, very good. Okay, now let's talk about exercise. I hate it, so I'm putting it out there. I hate to exercise. About 5 years ago, I was an exercise fanatic, and now I hate it. So what I'm doing for exercise is I will walk my neighborhood about 2.5 miles. It takes me about 45 minutes to do that, so I know I need to up my speed on that. I ride my stationary bike here in the house, and it is the bike that allows you to move your arms as well, so I'm not just working on my lower body, I'm also doing my top as well. And I have gone to the gym a couple of times, and what I do at the gym is get on the elliptical machine, but since I've been so out of shape, I've only been able to do the elliptical machine for up to about 10 minutes now. I remember a time when I was doing the elliptical machine for an hour a day, so I'm going to be really working on that to get myself back up to that. My husband bought me an elliptical machine, and I guess, I don't know, something happened, and when I got it in the house, I guess I just figured that looking at it would help me to lose the weight, but that's not the case. What I really learned it the hard way. But I'm going to work on that because I really need that for my cardio. That's really important. And lastly, I want to talk about milestones that I have reached and accomplishments that I've made. I am now wearing clothes that were way too little for me, and I'm excited about that. The largest clothes size I was wearing was a size 22. And now I'm down to 16, 18 in just 3 weeks, so I am really excited about that. I can now wear rings that I was not able to wear. This is a ring that my husband bought me one Christmas, and I wasn't able to wear that because my hands had gotten too big, and now I can just slide it on, slide it off with no problem. And as far as my wedding ring, well, now it's a little bit too big, so it's slipping and sliding all over the place. So I'm going to have to be careful with this one and get it resized. My energy has increased a great deal, and so that's very exciting. And one important thing that I do is I look at myself, and when I look at myself, I see a different person. I see who I am going to be in the near future. So I can actually see the changes in my body with my clothes on and even with my clothes off. So I can see the changes. So if you don't do anything else, look at yourself. I would encourage you to take the mirror and take your clothes off before you get in the shower. Take the time out to look at the front, turn to the side. Take the time out to look at yourself and actually see how your body is changing. Also, one thing that I do is I measure myself. I use a little measuring tape like this, and so it's like the little paper or the material kind, so I can wrap it around my neck like this, and then I can measure myself. So I measure my neck, my arms, my waist, my hips, my thighs. I measure my body so I can see, if I'm losing inches. A lot of times I hear people always saying on these videos that, they had a bad week because they only lost 1 pound. Well, you may have lost 1 pound, but you may have lost 4 or 5 inches. So losing inches is just as important as losing the pounds. So don't be afraid to get you one of these little measuring tapes, and you can buy these in any Joann's or any place that sells sewing material, Walmart. So for all you other sleevers out there, hang in there, do your best, and don't be discouraged. Until next time, I'm out.